Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about the one thing that you guys have been constantly requesting, and that would be boobs. You guys heard it, that is exactly what we're doing today. We're going to talk about breast augmentation and fitness and bodybuilding, and I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to tell you a lot of things. I think a lot of the questions you guys asked were really valuable, so I'm probably going to save those for the end after I do a little bit of my talking, and if I haven't covered it, I'll do a whole separate Q&A video. Alright, so I figured a great place to start would be with my story and what my recovery, what my surgery was like. I'm going to start out and say this right off the bat. What I'm telling you right now is something that this was my experience, so you're going to have to speak with your doctor about how long you can take off training, the different options for you for your surgery, because absolutely everybody is different. I can let you guys know who my doctor was if you're curious, if you're in the area. If you guys want to know that, I'll put that in the description box below, because I had a great experience, so I know a lot of people have had horrible experiences, so for me to have a really good one, I do not mind sharing that information with you guys. So when I decided to get the surgery, it was more of like, I had this idea in my head, I knew that I wanted it. Why did I want it? Because it's one thing that lifting could never give to me. It was one thing that being healthy, it just couldn't happen. So that was kind of my decision. I do, all things for my health. I take care of myself. I wanted to do something that was going to make me feel good. I went for a consult with a doctor that I had known has worked with many people in the fitness industry who had already kind of trusted before I even went in for the consult. So I only actually went to one doctor, and it was a great experience. You try on different sizes, you talk about over, under the muscle. So for me, I went under the muscle. I would recommend anyone who wants to be active to go under the muscle. And I have silicone versus saline, and it's like more of a natural feel, I guess. Saline is great too. You can read up about the differences. I don't need to tell you that. That is a great place to go to Google for, because that will answer those questions. Now, what all of you are here for is about recovery. So basically, all that fun stuff, talk to your doctor about it, and you'll organize, the when, the why, the what, all those little details that you want. And I'll talk about recovery. So for me, recovery was amazing. I went in for the surgery on a Friday. I had the surgery. It took like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. They kept me there another hour. I went home. And then a week later, I went for like my week post-op, and then the next day, it was a Thursday. So on Friday, he was like, you can go, do light cardio. I went to the gym that Friday night. A week later, I actually hopped on the stairs. By Tuesday, actually take that back. It was Monday. I went to the gym and I did light legs. I don't remember holding anything, but I did leg press really light. I did some Smith machine squats and lunges, and then some body weight stuff. I wasn't holding much. I think I did end up picking up stuff, but I was carrying my purse around, and y'all know that you carry a purse around, it's like carrying the bar, I don't know. That Wednesday, I was actually training light back. But I was actually 6 weeks out from my first ever bikini competition. So a lot of you asked, how soon before you prep can you, go and get the surgery completed? It is entirely based off of your comfort level. I kept it really in place, my nutrition like crazy while I was recovering, because you're clearly less active. So for me, the surgery, the recovery, it was amazing. It was fast. I was back in action, back in the gym, and it was all because of the doctor that I chose. Specifically worked with figure competitors. He also worked with people in the fitness industry, so he knows the need to get back into the gym and get back to your normal training. I was told 6 weeks, absolutely no chest training. It did not mean no upper body training. It did not mean no training at all. It did not mean that I couldn't go do cardio. It was just don't do anything that is going to really just completely destroy your chest. I mean, I wasn't doing push-ups. I wasn't doing a lot of overhead stuff. I wasn't doing clearly any chest movement. I used cables a lot the first, few weeks when some things felt a little bit uncomfortable. Aside from my story, I'm going to answer some of those questions that you guys had because I think they're amazing questions, and I can kind of talk about my experience with everything while I go through them. So the first question that I'm going to answer is, how did you plan timing for your surgery based on not being able to train for a period of time? I didn't have a show in mind or even really was focused on my training. I knew that if it was something that I wanted, I would sacrifice the time off to get it done, and then I would keep things in check, like my nutrition, and I would just jump right back on. So if it's important to you, timeline, obviously don't do it like right before you have a big trip or something, you have to travel, anything like that, but you will be a-okay just kind of picking a time that you don't have anything crazy going on. A lot of people ask, are you happy with the size that you chose? This is a funny question because a lot of times going in, people will be really nervous that they're going to go too big and they end up going smaller. And then afterwards, they're like, I wish I went a little bit bigger. So go with something that you're comfortable with. It's going to be absolutely different for everyone. Don't ask me how many cc's I have because it's going to be completely different on your frame, and it also matters what you start with. So that's when going to your consult and trying on with the different, they're like, you can always do like the rice test. I think there's probably something on YouTube for that, so type that into YouTube if you want to figure it out. You put like rice in a bag and you can tell the different sizes and everything. This is a good question. How does it affect your overall athleticism? Can you still be a full-on athlete, or are you scared to move certain ways? It was definitely weird doing push-ups for a little while. After the 6 weeks passed and I was able to train chest again, push-ups felt weird. I felt kind of weak, and I actually started doing push-ups on an incline when I started because I just couldn't get quite on the floor. Certain things like lat pull, like a close grip lat pull down, I found that I was like, it was uncomfortable for my elbows and arms to move. But I do absolutely. I'm a little over a year. I got them done in the end of May in 2014. So I'm like a year and 3 months post-surgery, and I'm back to myself 100%. How did you eat differently while recovering and resting? For me, since my recovery was seriously so short, all I did was keep my macros as they were before. I knew leading into the surgery that I was going to be resting, so I didn't go crazy and eat like crazy. I think I had a cupcake one day. I went to the Queen's Cups and got cupcakes, and I ended up eating like a bite of each one, and then I went back to my nutrition. If you're on the pain meds, you're not that hungry, and so eating normal food, just make sure you've cooked stuff and you have it, readily available. Best question. Would I do it again? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. I don't take it back at all. I think it was the best decision for me because it was a decision that I made entirely for myself. There will be people that will be unsupportive. For example, your family, if they're unsupportive. If you're spending your money on it, obviously, this is like, I feel like I don't want to be giving you advice that is going to get you in trouble. If someone's really uncomfortable with it, like for example your mother or your father, sit down and talk to them and tell them why it's important to you. With all things, it's kind of how you should approach just everything in life. I think that if you're open and honest about it, not everyone's going to accept it, but if it's something that you want, you also have to think about yourself too. It's like a lot of you people that are dealing with fitness and people that just unsupportive for bikini competitions or competing or whatever it is. There's always going to be people that are unsupportive, and those are the times where you kind of just have to be like, screw what you say. I'm doing this for me. I'm in it for me. And at the end of the day, you are the one that has to sleep with your decisions and wake up with them, not them. Okay. Let's see. What else? So hopefully that answers a lot of your questions. If you have more of them, I'll do another Q&A video. Now to kind of switch over and talk about the look for bodybuilding and whether or not you need to have fake boobs to do well competing? The answer is absolutely not. Of course you do not. It is not a requirement. There are several very, very successful competitors that chose to do a natural look. They choose to have one. They are never going to have surgery. There's plenty of pros that are natural, and they're natural. Now, I don't mean like drugs, but I mean like that do not have fake breasts. And so you absolutely do not need it. That's why you work to build curves all over your physique. You know, you work on your back, you work on the V taper. You absolutely don't need breasts. There's a ton of people get up on stage and you would never know that they're just masters at stuffing their bikinis. A couple people actually have. Kara Corey has a 5-minute boob job thing video. I love her YouTube, so I'll put her link below because she's great too. She's an awesome source for bikini prep. And she looks stunning on stage, and you would literally never know whatever it is that she puts in her bikini top. So you really don't need one, and I don't want you to feel discouraged if you don't have fit. You won't. It's not that you won't do well. You have to just work on all other areas. They're not necessarily what wins shows or makes you a successful competitor. So that's extremely important, because you don't let that hold you back if that's one of your concerns. I think I have answered all of your questions that you guys have asked during, I kind of threw out an ice cream picture and said, hey guys, like, comment about boobs if you're curious, and we'll talk about it. And you guys sent your questions, and hopefully I covered them all. This was a lot of fun. I am hoping to do more of this type of video for my prep series. The vlogging is super weird for me. I think that I don't have enough to say, but I'm really passionate about a lot of these topics, and I would love to get information out for you guys. So the more suggestions that you have, the better. And I'm going to edit this video for you guys, and I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to start working on what my next prep series video will be. Next one, I believe, will be on, don't quote me on this, but tanning and hair and makeup. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps me out. I just like to know if it's content that you like to see. You can give it a thumbs down, but if you give it a thumbs down, give me some feedback. And subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat, and what else is there? There's a million other things you can follow me on.